And we are live. Hello to my 0 viewers. This is going to hopefully be the first stream of many of me cold calling live. So let's roll the dice and see what happens. Right, just got to do one thing and then we will absolutely smash it on the phone. Live. So let's roll the dice and see what happens. Right, just got to do one thing and then we will absolutely smash it on the phone. I believe we're ready to go. Live, so let's see what happens. I haven't just closed the stream down, have I? Nope, we're still live. It's going to take a little while to get used to, but let's see what happens. Right. First cold call. Hopefully there's not any issues with the audio. There's going to be a ongoing little teething issue. So we'll see what happens. Right, I can hear it. Pen at the ready. Oh, hello, is that Josh?
Hello. Yes.
Josh, it's Joe. You're probably going to hate me for this. It's a dreaded sales call at the end of a Monday. I'm not sure if you'd rather leave it here or let me have 30 seconds. It's up to you.
I'm all right, Joe. I'm back to back with phone calls today.
I can hear the disappointment. Is there a more appropriate time for a 30
All
second
right.
pitch?
What's it regarding?
If I said I'm a one-man band cold caller and kick down doors for business owners, you're probably going to tell me it's not worth calling
Right.
you back, I get the feeling.
We've actually got one of our directors handles that. So
Your
yeah,
director
that's
handles
his call.
it. Cool. Hold on to him
Yeah,
like a piece of gold.
yeah, he's brilliant. All right. Thank
All
you.
right. Cheers, Josh. Take care.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye.
Right. Let me update my sheet. Oh, hello. Is that Kemi? Hi, Kemi. It's Joe. You're probably going to hate me for this. It's a dreaded sales call. I'm not sure if you'd rather hang up or let me have 30 seconds. It's up to you.
I'll give you 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Let's see, Kemi. So I get invited in by business owners who have a couple of concerns when it comes to the new business side of things, piece of the puzzle. They're perhaps a bit frustrated. There's not quite enough new business meetings in the diary. They seem to come in peaks and troughs, ebbs and flows, and they rely on referrals that are quite inconsistent and unpredictable. And others say that they've worked with lead gen agencies before and massively been overpromised and underdelivered. But you're probably going to tell me life's stress-free and you don't relate to or recognise any of those.
No, I've experienced that.
You've experienced that. Well, out of those two things I mentioned, which one do you experience? Is it not enough meetings in the diary, or is it burnt in the past by a lead gen agency? Out of interest.
Um, so nothing. I mean, no progress really. Let's just file everything under lack of satisfaction.
No progress or lack of satisfaction. Got it. I've had my 30 seconds, Kemi. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Okay.
When you say no progress and lack of satisfaction, what does it mean exactly?
I didn't get the new contracts I was hoping for. I really didn't get the amount of meetings in the diary. There's a lot of promises made, but nothing significant changed.
That sounds quite challenging.
Mm.
Well, do you mind if I ask what happened?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I stopped doing business with them. So, question for you: how much does this cost from you?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a good question. I'm not sure if it's even right for you at this stage, Temi, but if I said investment started from £2,500, I get the feeling it's way out of your price range.
Yeah, and then you're not the first sales call. Something, what I think it is similar. Again, I am part of a franchise. So when I give them that sort of money or more, they actually go out. They have a sales guy who actually physically. So they make the calls, they book in the meeting, they send out the sales guy.
Okay.
Get them, the clients, to sign on dotted line, and everything is sorted out for me.
Oh, got
I
it. So
pay a
it
little
sounds like you
extra,
already
but
have
I
an
get a
avenue to
guarantee.
acquire new business already.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. So the fact that you missed out on that new business opportunity, it doesn't sound like it's got you down. You've got many more opportunities to fall back on.
Yeah, because I try to instead of using a franchise, I try to do it, another way, and it turned out that didn't quite work out for me the way I thought it would. I thought it would be a, cheaper option, but I think I'd rather give the franchise the money. Like, I know it's a little more, but they will get that contract, and all I have to do is physically walk into the contract.
Brilliant. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, hey?
Exactly.
All right, Kimmy, I appreciate you taking the call.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
I actually spoke to her about 6 months ago. I think it was repeat data. Whoops. Oh, hello, is that Jeff?
Yeah, speaking.
Jeff, it's Joe. You're probably going to hate me for this. It's a dreaded sales call. I'm not sure if you'd rather leave it here or let me have 30 seconds. It's up to you.
Depends what it is, yeah.
Fair point. I will tell you briefly. If it's not relevant, please do let me know, Jeff. So I work with small business owners who have a couple of concerns on the new business piece of the puzzle. They're perhaps a bit frustrated. There's not quite enough new business meetings in the diary. Maybe they're relying on referrals, but they seem to come in peaks and troughs, ebbs and flows, and can't really predict them. Others say it's not that, but they've worked with lead gen outbound agencies in the past and been overpromised and bitterly underdelivered, which has left a bit of a bad taste in their mouth. But you're probably going to tell me life's stress-free and you just don't relate to or recognise any of those.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I'm not in sales really myself, so the sales director deals with all that. I don't know whether he would be interested. I can sort of give him your company details and see whether it's something they might be interested in.
Okay, when you say the sales director deals with it, does he report into you or are you completely separate from him?
Well, I mean, at the moment, I've got other concerns, so it's not a major priority for me. So there's a lot of other. I deal more on the technical side.
You deal more on the technical side, and by the sounds of it, he hasn't come to you and complained about the lack of meetings in the diary, I'm guessing.
No. We've got a lot of work on at the moment, so I mean, I don't think it's a major priority.
Got it.
Might be worth calling back in maybe, I don't know, a couple of months or something, just to see whether anything's changed.
Yeah. What do you predict anything will have changed, or have you got a pipeline for the next 6-12 months?
Honestly, don't know. As I say, I've got a lot of projects on myself, so I don't really know in terms of sales side. So
yeah. No, it sounds like everything's perfect, Jeff.
Well, nothing's ever perfect, but yeah.
Fair enough. Well, I appreciate you taking the call. Can I ask one last thing just before you go?
Sure.
You don't have any like-minded business owners, customers in your network who are a bit frustrated with not enough new business meetings in the diary? A school bully, an ex-partner, I'm not fussy.
No, I mean, most of our customers are e-commerce based, so everything's done online, so it's not really their sort of thing, to be honest. They don't have leads, it's all done through sort of advertising, marketing, that sort of thing. So it's all quick sales.
Got it. I thought I'd ask, but it sounds like they're all good too.
Alrighty, okay.
All right, Jeff, take care. Thank you.
Cheers, thanks, bye.
Good. Oh, hello, is that Russell?
I can help.
Russell, it's Joe. You're probably going to hate me for this. It's a dreaded sales call. I'm not sure if you want to launch your phone out the window or let me have 30 seconds. It's up to you.
No, I'm just going to hang up. Cheers, Joe.
Got it. Is that because it's a bad time or just you hate sales calls? Egown. Oh, hello,
Take your call
Gareth.
right now.
Oh.
Just leave your message after the tone.
I've got 3 viewers.
Oh.
Oh, hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hi.
Joe, it's Joe, ironically. You're probably going to hate me for this. It's a dreaded sales call on a Monday evening. I'm not sure if you want to hang up and enjoy your tea or let me have 30 seconds. It's up to you.
Which company are you from, sorry?
It's my company. Shall I sum it up, and if it's not relevant, you can let me know? Is that fair?
Yeah, when you go, yeah.
So I work with managing directors who have a couple of concerns on the new business piece of the puzzle. They're perhaps a bit frustrated. There's not quite enough new business meetings in the diary. Maybe they rely on referrals that seem to come in peaks and troughs, ebbs and flows, and they're hard to predict. And others just
I'll stop you there. We sell through primarily through word of mouth in a very closed market. So we don't really use referral companies or anything like that. It doesn't really work for us.
When you say a closed market, what do you mean exactly?
It's local authorities who need a certain provision, and we sell that provision.
Got it. Local authorities, is that tender work, I imagine?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I bet that's well easy to get business.
But yes. but referrals don't work in this case.
Got it. It sounds like there's no concerns on the new business side. You got something that works for you.
No. Yeah, definitely.
All right, Joe, can I ask one thing before you go?
Yep.
You haven't got any friends, business owners who are perhaps a bit frustrated on the new business side that could do with a one-man band cold caller? A school bully, an enemy,
no,
I'm not fussy.
Really. I don't really know any businesses in that sort of role who have that need. No, I'm afraid not.
Got it. All right, well, I appreciate you taking the call.
No problem. Cheers. Thank you. Bye.
Right, on to the next one. It's funny managing a stream as well. It's like... Oh, hello, is that Mark? Mark, it's Joe. You're probably going to hate me for this. It's a dreaded sales call. I'm not sure if you want to hang up or let me have 30 seconds. It's up to you.
What are you selling?
30 seconds, let's see, Mark. So I'm a one-man band cold caller, and I work with small business owners who have a couple of concerns on the new business piece of the puzzle. They're perhaps a bit frustrated. There's not quite enough new business meetings in the diary. They can never really find the time to reach out to people and do it themselves. Others just say
Yeah,
they've
it's not something for me that way, unfortunately.
not for you. Is that because everything on the new business side's perfect, or is it you have a great network of customers and you don't need any more?
All of my inquiries are inbound and they're all from the States, so outbound calling don't really make sense for me.
They're from estates, did you say?
From the United States, I said.
Ah, okay. And out of interest, how do you get hold of them?
Just Google, SEO, organic.
Oh, got
Yeah,
it. You've got a channel that works well for you.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I appreciate you taking the call.
All right. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
Just need to check the old audio. 1 second. It says it's okay. People seem a little bit quieter than normal. Oh, hello, is that Jack?
Speaking.
Jack, it's Joe. You're probably going to hate me for this. It's a dreaded sales call. I'm not sure if you want to hang up or let me have 30 seconds. I can hear the disappointment.
I'm just in the office at the moment. Would it be possible to call back maybe 5?
Call you back at 5. Is that what time you finish?
Assuming I don't have another meeting that comes up. Actually, maybe tomorrow at lunchtime. That's
Got
okay.
Got it. You sure you won't be hangry?
I should be okay, thanks. Yeah.
Got it. Can I ask one thing just before you go?
Yeah.
Is it worth calling you back about appointment setting, lead generation, or is everything perfect on that side of the business?
Actually, no, probably not then. Everything's fine in that regard.
All right. I appreciate taking the call. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Cheers, bye.
I'll take your call right now. Just leave your
It's
message.
funny with those people because the amount of time it takes them explaining their situation, you could have given them the pitch. But what do I know? Just a cold caller. Oh, hello, is that Jonathan? Jonathan, it's Joe. You're probably going to hate me for this. It's actually a sales call. I'm not sure if you want to launch your phone out the window or let me have 30 seconds. It's up to you.
What's it about?
So I work with business owners who have a couple of concerns on the new business front. They're perhaps a bit frustrated. There's not quite enough new business meetings in the diary. They maybe rely heavily on referrals or they can't find the time to prospect.
We're okay, thanks. We're fine.
You're fine.
Yeah,
Got it.
fine.
Got it. Is that because you have someone doing it for you already, or is that because...
We do, and at the minute we're just at capacity anyway, so we don't want any business in at the minute. So
You're at capacity?
we're okay.
And that's for the next 12, 18 months, I imagine.
Oh yeah, easy, yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Got it. Can I ask one last thing just before you go?
What's that?
At what point do you start looking for work after that, or do you let it take care of itself?
Sorry?
After your existing book of business is completed, what do you do to ensure that keeps ticking over, out of interest?
Well, we basically we contract MSP, so we have lots of contracts with lots of different businesses. So we're fine on that front. We don't need any more at the minute.
Got it, and that takes care of itself.
That's what it says. It does, yeah. Yeah.
Got it. What are you doing so differently from everyone else, Jonathan? It sounds like everything's perfect.
It's fine, mate, honestly. Yeah, I'll get back to my music now, so I'm alright now. Cheers.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hello?
Wrong person. Listen to the headphones mix via your output. Q. 4 views. Thank you very much, all my all my listeners. I thought I'd be maxing out a 1 view today. Crikey. We'll take it. No, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Listening to me to drone on people on the phone. Oh, hello. Is that Tim?
It is, yes. How
Tim,
can I help?
It's Joe. You're probably going to hate me for this. It's a dreaded sales call. I can hear the disappointment. 30 seconds. If it's not relevant, you can let me know. Is that fair?
Yep. No bother. Absolutely.
So I work with business owners who have a couple of concerns on the new business piece of the puzzle. They're perhaps a bit frustrated that there's not quite enough new business meetings in the diary. They seem to come in peaks and troughs, ebbs and flows, and there's never really enough time in the day to prospect themselves. Others say they've maybe worked with lead gen agencies in the past and been massively over-promised and under-delivered, which has left a bit of a bad taste in their mouth. But you're probably going to tell me life's stress-free and there's not grey hair in sight.
Yeah, you got me.
I've got you. You're not going to die on me, Tim, are you?
No. I was coughing and spluttering. I like it.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Out of those two things I mentioned, which one resonates? Is it more not enough meetings, or is it worked with a crappy agency in the past?
Crappy agency, mate.
Crappy agency. Got it. I've had my 30 seconds. Do you mind if we speak for maybe 2 more minutes?
I'm just cooking this minute, mate, but I'm happy to pick this up at some point tomorrow if that suits you.
I can do. It sounds like you're a man of many talents. What's a good time to call you back tomorrow?
Let me just quickly look at my planner, Joe. It'll be 1 moment. Look, do you fancy doing 11:30?
11:30. Got it. And should we have a 5-minute chat on the phone and understand if it makes sense to speak further after that?
Yep, no bother at all.
Got it. And can I ask one thing
perfect.
before
Well, I look
you
forward
go?
to speaking tomorrow at 11:30. Just give us a call at your convenience.
Brilliant. And last thing, if I can't get hold of you at 11:30, shall I keep trying, or shall I assume you've blocked my number and never want to hear from me again?
No. I'll put it in my diary that second, so I'll answer the phone, mate.
All right, Tim. Speak then.
No bother at all. I look forward to catching
Enjoy your
up
dinner.
then. Thanks,
Thank
Joe.
you.
Have a good evening. Take care. Bye-bye.
Do, 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 do. Five viewers. Crikey. This was just meant to be a test stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, hello, is that Matt?
Yeah.
Matt, it's Joe. You're probably going to hate me for this. It's a dreaded sales call on a Monday evening. I'm not sure if you'd rather hang up or let me have 30 seconds. It's entirely up to you.
What are you telling, Joe?
30 seconds. Let's see, Matt. So I'm a one-man band cold caller, and I work with business owners who have a couple of concerns on the new business front. They're perhaps a bit frustrated. There's not quite enough new business meetings in the diary. They come in peaks and troughs, ebbs and flows. Maybe there's a little bit of a reliance on referrals. And others say they've worked with lead gen agencies in the past who have overpromised and underdelivered, and as a result left a horrible taste in their mouth. But you're probably going to tell me new business is booming and you couldn't take on another new client.
You know what? New business is booming, but only recently.
Wow, what's changed?
3 customers walked in the door at once.
Wow, how did that happen?
Oh,
relationships of relationships of relationships. But do you know what? I want you to talk to Duncan.
Okay. What makes you say that out of interest?
Because Duncan persuaded me to part with 10 grand, not that long ago, for the lead gen agency that's been shit.
Okay.
So convince Duncan you're better, and we'll talk again.
Okay, so if I'm hearing correctly, Duncan was the one that wanted to work with the lead gen agency, but
I don't trust anybody who sells anything, because so far in the 15 years I've been running this business, the only person that's delivered any business is me.
That sounds frustrating.
But it's true. So I like the ballsy approach, and I do like the give me 30 seconds or hang up on me.
Okay.
So 10 points for that.
Okay. Can I ask two more questions just before you go, Matt, and before I hassle
Well, you're going to want
Duncan?
Duncan's contact details.
Yes, that was one of the questions.
Otherwise, that's the shittest phone call ever.
But before I do that, can I ask what happened with this lead generation agency?
I think they delivered about half a dozen leads that went nowhere. And it was all shitty email stuff.
Crikey.
Shitty
Socially
email
inept
stuff never
people.
worked.
Were you meeting people
Yeah.
from Thailand, Bangalore,
Oh,
and
no,
all
no.
sorts?
You know what? None of them ever got as far as meeting me, so they were that unqualified that it never got really serious. I think Duncan said that people responded to the email, a couple of them. Duncan sent a couple of replies back, and then it went a bit dead. And why won't that approach ever work? Because it never will.
Yeah.
So, for example, these days technology has moved on past 1990, and you couldn't send me any form of marketing email and it hit my inbox and get there.
Yeah.
Because my AI will take it out.
It sounds like you've given up with outbound marketing.
Yeah, it doesn't work. That format that was successful 10 years ago is now not successful. So you have to get back to a format that works, which unfortunately is people like you phoning up people and, having the human touch, whether that be a ballsy human touch or a soft human touch or whatever it is. It's sales is going to have to go back to an art form.
Yeah.
Because just sending out 10,000 emails ain't going to cut it anymore.
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask a bit of a blunt question?
As blunt as you like, man.
What was it that convinced you and Duncan that this lead generation agency would be able to deliver for you? What was it that they did so fantastically that made you spend 10 bags?
I have to trust the people I employ. So Duncan got very behind it, and I trusted him. And that's one of the things I do when I run a company.
Yeah, sounds like you
trust
put your
the
trust
people
in
you say.
Duncan.
Yeah, you sort a marketing campaign and you sort out some new generation because you think that's vitally important to do now. And once I've said yes, that's it. You don't start second guessing your own team.
Yeah.
But they were predictably shit, which I knew they'd be. I might as well have taken that £10,000 into the back garden and fucking set fire to it.
Yeah. Must be frustrating when being overpromised and underdelivered.
Well, it's expensive. I can tell you what it is. It's expensive.
Yeah.
10 grand's fine if you get 20 grand back, or if you get 11 grand back, you're still winning. But 10 grand when you've got nothing to show for it just means you're an idiot.
Yeah, yeah. Does that mean that would you trust Duncan again if someone like me approached him and he was convinced?
Probably not, but I want you to go through him anyway, because the moment I tell Duncan, who's my project manager and my head of risk advisory, that I'm effectively sacking him from that. I mean, but this is a company of 6 people. The moment you tell 1/6 of the workforce they're shit, they become demotivated. So tell him you've spoken to me. Tell him you've got a proposition, but I wanted you to run it by him first and see how you go.
Okay.
If he thinks it's a great idea, you and I'll have a chat
Yeah.
with him in the room.
Fair enough. Matt, can I ask, because at the beginning of the conversation you said that you've got 3 customers that have walked in the door and things are going on well. Is there any point speaking to Duncan, or are you set on the new business side for the foreseeable future?
No, 3 customers that will keep us very busy for 8 weeks. And then they'll flow in, because we're a monthly managed service provider. So during onboarding, 3 customers in 2 months is a fair chunk of busy.
Yep.
But then once it settles into support, you could do that. You could keep rinsing and repeating that formula over and over again. They're only busy while they're onboarding. Once they flow into support, they just flow into the help desk. And at that point, it all becomes, you get that capacity back.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Okay.
So that gives you an approximate 12 weeks, 10 weeks, in which to go, well, actually find the next 1 or 2 customers. I mean, I don't, in an ideal world, to grow this business without me going in borrowing money. Because one thing I'm very proud of is that I've yet to borrow money. So I can borrow money, I can get investment, I can. There's a load of local people as well who do that kind of shit. Stick 300 grand in your account and want 20% of your company. And they'll want some governance over it. But to grow it without doing any of that, to just grow it organically, if I was taking on average 1 to 2 customers a month, that would be a healthy run rate. So that's 12 sales in a year.
Yep.
How hard can that be?
Well, can I ask, Duncan, how hard have you found it to this... Matt, sorry, how hard have you found it to
You
this
ask
point?
him anything you like. You can have an incredibly blunt... He's an ex-army captain. He's used to incredibly blunt questions.
You regret saying that.
He wears red corduroy trousers at public events, for God's sake. He's brilliant, really. I wouldn't be without him. Yeah. So you can be as blunt as you like, because you were fairly blunt when I picked up the phone.
Touche.
Got my attention.
What do you want to do from here? Do you want to end the call, or do you want me to pass? Do you want to pass
I want you
Duncan's
to phone
contact
Duncan.
details?
I'm going to give you Duncan's phone number. And I want you to phone Duncan and say, Duncan, Matt sent me to you because I deal in, I don't know, phoning people up.
Okay. Perhaps let's make it past Duncan first. 0818 06. Yep. Oh, sorry, my bloody keyboard wasn't working. 07. Yep. Yep. Bro. Brilliant. Is he against me cold calling him?
I've never asked him the question if he minds people cold calling him or not. So if he tells you to bugger off, then let me know.
Yep.
Have you got my email address? You probably have, because you got my mobile phone number.
Yep. It's Matt at the same.
Yes, I'm dealing with the.
Yeah, Matt at millbridgesystems.com. Yep.
No, millbridge.systems.
Yep. All right. Brilliant. Got it.
That email address, the .system, millbridgesystems.com, is what it still works. Is a particularly old email list if you've got it.
Bro, I don't assume you know Duncan's calendar. When's a good time to hassle him?
I'd imagine in the next 15 minutes you'll probably get an answer.
Bro.
I'd imagine if you try in 17 minutes' time, you'll have to wait till tomorrow.
He's not a clock watcher, is he?
He's not a clock watcher, but at 5... if you'd phone me at 10 past 5 from a number that's not in my contact list, I probably wouldn't answer the phone.
Yeah, fair enough.
Got
Cool.
things to do.
Yep, all right, well, I will echo back what you've said to me to Duncan, and if you never hear from me again, have a good life. If not, maybe speak in a week or two.
Let's speak in a week or two anyway.
You want me to call you back in a week or two as well?
Well, if he blows you off, because at that point I'll have a conversation with him anyway.
All right, sounds good.
Have fun.
Cheers, Matt. Take care, mate.
Bye.
Blows me off. Right, should we call Dunky Dunk, see what happens? Give me 2 secs. I'll leave you on edge. for anyone that actually cares. Right, we'll go out with a bang, we'll call Duncan, and then we will call it here. If I can, that is. I may have made a slight boo-boo. Can I call from my iPad? How can I manually dial someone when my phone's recording the camera? Oh. Wow. Yeah, it looks like I can't call Duncan right now. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my landline number. 2 seconds. Haven't used one of these old boys in a long time. Menu. Back. This is odd. Oh.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Is that Duncan?
Yes.
Hi, Duncan. This is Joe. This is going to be quite strange. I just had a conversation with Matt Middleton, and he's passed me your mobile number. Shall I summarise why he's asked me to call you, and you can let me know if it's worth us speaking or not? So I'm a one-man band, cold caller, and I work with small business owners who have a couple of concerns on the new business front. They're perhaps a bit frustrated there's not quite enough new business meetings in the diary, or they've worked with agencies in the past and been over-promised and under-delivered, and it's left a bad taste in their mouths. Matt mentioned that you've had a bad experience with a lead gen agency. You're in the process of onboarding 3 customers, but you'd like to be in a position where you can you can acquire 12 to 24 customers in the next 12 months.
Yes, that sounds about right.
Yeah, you might tell me that this conversation's not worth having, as you feel that lead generation's in a good place. I'm not sure.
No, I wouldn't say that. I'd say, in fact, I mean, did you make a cold call to Matt, and then he said speak to Duncan, or do you know Matt by some other means?
The first. What gave that away?
Okay. No, it didn't. No, it's just so Matt's a techie. Matt is an incredibly dear friend, a business partner, and so on and so forth. And he is enormously sceptical of all things to do with sales and marketing.
Yep.
Basically, because he feels that everything to do with
Yep.
It took me a long time to persuade him to go with a lead gen business. Basically, I'm not sure we had sort of any other sort of thoughts or ideas at the time. And in fairness to the lead generation company, Matt quite rightly will take the top level strategic view and say, went with the lead gen company and we didn't get any new business out of it.
Yep.
He would be 100% right. They never promised, because as they say with lead gen, they can give you the leads. Whether you manage to then convert those is another matter.
Okay.
So we did get leads, and we got leads at a rate. They took a bit of juggling to get it working, but we then did get leads. The trouble is they were the wrong leads, if that makes any sense at all. So we ended up with talking to companies that were either the wrong size or in the wrong industry who we couldn't really help. So the bottom line is, as a project, as an initiative, it didn't work and it didn't deliver us what we needed. And I guess the next question then is, okay, if we don't pursue, and I used to work in the property world.
Okay.
In a estate agency, and we would be doing what we did with Millbridge in terms of lead generation in a 5-month period. We would be doing that times 5 every week.
Okay.
In agents to get the lead. Yeah. So it then becomes a volumes game. So I guess my question, roundabout way is I am very happy to look at alternative approaches because lead gen didn't really work for us, and possibly somebody who calls on our behalf and targets the right companies and has the right conversations might be a far more successful way for us to go. I don't know.
Okay.
Talking now.
Yeah, do you mind if I ask a couple of questions about that? I just want to summarise back what I've heard first of all. So it sounds like Matt's in charge of the techie side of the business. You're the one with the sales acumen. You've had experience in the past with generating appointments, sitting the appointments, closing the business, more so on the property side, but now going into this world as well. You worked with a lead gen agency.
Yeah, so this is an industry that I don't have a network in. I don't have.
Okay.
So Matt's generated the client so far from his network. I don't have a network in the IT, risk management, governance, and compliance side of life.
Okay. Okay.
So that's where we're starting with a slight disadvantage.
Okay. So it sounds like you worked with an agency who took a bit of time to get going, but once they got going, they did provide some results in terms of appointments generated. However, they weren't the right fit for you. They were the wrong size, and it took a bit of time to get going. And as a result, there wasn't much that came down the other end of the pipeline. Maybe partly due to volume and partly due to targeting.
It's ultimately about results, isn't it?
Yeah.
We come back to, as Matt said, we want 12 to 24 clients over the next 12 months. Have we, after 6 months of doing lead gen, are we any closer to that? The answer is no. So therefore, in that very simple metric, it's a failure.
Yeah, sounds like a rock and a hard place.
For something that was therefore more successful.
Yeah. Can I ask, when you went to the agency and said, like, look, you're getting appointments, but they're the wrong size, how did they respond to that and how did they adjust their approach?
Well, again, I'll be very candid with you. The company that we went with was a company called Funnel Boost.
Okay.
We looked at a couple of others before then, but when they did their original pitch to us or to me, they seemed the best fit, the most comprehensive.
Okay.
We then had they ran 5 campaigns for us. They were meant to we paid for 3, and the reason we got 5 was because they managed to screw up 2 of them. The first one they screwed up because they actually hadn't done the back end work correctly. So when we got no results and we challenged why we'd got no results, they went, "Oh crap! Yes, we've not done our end technically right to set you up in the
Okay.
So the whole process was a bit, if I'm honest, disjointed. How did they change things? We changed the types, we changed the size of companies. So at one stage they were getting, again, inconsistency of information. So at one stage they told us that we needed to go for a particular size of business. We said to them from the outset that our sweet spot in terms of size of business was probably somewhere in the region of 25 plus, ideally 50 plus employees, and that's employees who are actually using tech. So there's no point. I mean, we have got smaller. We've got, for example, there's one company that we do work with who produce award trophies. So if you go to BAFTA or whatever, they make stuff like that.
Yep. Okay.
And they've got a team of probably a dozen plus who are designers who are working on technology that we can help and support. And then they've got people who are actually making these things in a factory. Well, technology, so we don't really, I don't count those as employees that are particularly relevant to us. So, you could come to me and say, I've got a company here and it's got 50 people in it, and apart from the managing director and the head of finance, nobody else uses a computer in the place, and you kind of go, because the rest of them are cutting hedges or digging holes in the road, you're going to go, that's not really our sweet spot of company, despite it being the right size. So we had a bit of this going on with them, where they bought us companies that were the wrong size, and we ended up with companies that were a lot smaller, and we had a lot of micro businesses coming to talk to us. And then you go, right, okay, so you're a micro business, now let's look at what you do and what you need, and these are the costs. And then they go, well, we can't afford that, and you're going to go, you probably need to, but nevertheless I get where you're coming from.
Got it.
So that's where we had problems with them. They then my criticism of the process, I would say, was that it didn't seem to be their databases weren't as segmented as they had maybe made out when they first signed us on.
Okay, so it sounds like a bit of a disjointed journey you've been on, in combination with mistargeting as well, and going down the wrong paths to address the issue.
Yes, there's a bit of that, and also, if I'm really honest, we as a company, are we clear on what our when we go through a sales campaign of some description, are we clear on what we're offering to people and who our target is? So, we're an MSP, so ultimately we do IT support.
Yep.
That is a massively crowded industry, and therefore, what is it your IT support? And then it's a hard sell, because with IT, I mean, for all I know, you've sold across the IT industry for years, and you know it really well. But from my perspective, as somebody who's relatively new to the IT industry, people have, if they need IT support, they've already got it, and therefore, why would they swap to somebody else?
Yeah, or their brother-in-law does it.
Sorry,
Or their brother-in-law runs a IT support company.
We've got some of those. Yeah, my son works for a company like that, and I'd love to get in there. And exactly that is actually the brother of the guy who owns the company who provides the IT. But we've got some others where they're not getting a great service, but they're not so pissed off with their service that they're willing to consider changing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a lot of hassle. Their perception is we've just picked up one of the that Matt has spoken to you about. We picked them up because they were pissed off with their, and we managed to forge a personal relationship with them. And they now feel, and I think quite rightly, that they will get a more attentive service from us than they did from the people that they were working with previously.
Okay.
But it's that. Yeah. So when you put out as the lead gen guys were doing, putting out something saying, do you want your IT support? Yeah, do you want a quote? Do you want improved or whatever it was that I've got all the emails that they sent out, and they weren't fundamentally wrong. They were quite simplistic, but they said that actually the simpler ones tended to work better, and they weren't wrong in that. They did.
Yeah, yeah. Again, it sounds like it was mistargeting. Okay, that makes sense.
So really, the question then comes back to is how do you differentiate? It's like any business. How are you different from everybody else? If there are, I mean, I don't know how many MSPs there are in the UK, but let's say there are 10,000. How are we different from the other 9,999? And the answer to that is because we do this bit around governance, risk and compliance. So we come at it from a risk basis so that you actually don't spend money on stuff you don't need to do and miss the stuff that you do, because we look at what are the risks to your business from your technology, and then from that we'll work out how you.
The bloody battery's flat. Right, I need to call him back. I'm gonna end the stream and call him back on the mobile on the back of here. So it's been good fun, and that's gonna turn into a meeting booked in a second, I imagine. But good chatting, guys.